Welcome back, everybody. My name's Jonathan Doyle. Welcome to our little humble recording studio. It's winter here. I'm in my warm stuff. It's getting cold really fast. I don't know. I'm just not loving it this year. But as I said yesterday, no one is watching these videos for weather updates. So, friends, we're going to jump in just a second. Hit subscribe. If you haven't hit subscribe, I'm deeply offended. I am getting off this video. I'm going to be deeply emotional because you haven't subscribed. Please do it. It makes a big difference. There's so much darkness in the world. I'm just trying to bring a bit of light, inspiration, encouragement, motivation on a daily basis. 7 days a week, you're going to have it. So hit subscribe. If you're on the podcast version, hit subscribe. Could you share this with some people? If you like these videos, just flick them to a few friends and say, hey, subscribe, check this guy out. My heart is to teach what I need to learn. So I'm constantly teaching to learn. I'm just teaching to learn. I'm finding great quotes from great figures of history because I want to teach on it. I want to share my passion for classical things and history and the world. And because everything that I teach you, I have to fight every day to do myself. So I do not sit on these videos going, I have come down from Mount Olympus to dispense my wisdom to you all. I do these things because I need to be reminded every single day. So, even if it's just me and Mum that have subscribed to the channel, I'm going to keep doing them. So please come and join us. Come and join me and Mum. Subscribe to the channel. And what else? There's a free access to my book, Bridging the Gap. So there'll be a link here. Just hit that link and you're going to get a free access to my book, Bridging the Gap. It's called Bridging the Gap because I was aware after decades of speaking that so many of us, all of us, have a gap between where we are today and where we could be based on our potential, and we just need to close that gap. So go grab a copy. Last thing, if you like today's episode, put something in the comments or reach out in the podcast. Just reach out. You've got contact details. You can reach me through the podcast. And just tell me what you want me to do episodes about. Tell me the kind of motivational, inspirational things, personal development challenges, things that you'd like to hear about that I can go and do some content for. Right, today we're doing a really cool quote from the famous artist Pablo Picasso. Look, I never got Picasso. I'm a classicist. My heart is a classical heart. I love symmetry. I love Aristotelian concepts of truth, beauty, and goodness. So I never really got Picasso. I know people do. I'm not saying it's not amazing. It's just, it is what it is. If you love Picasso, you love Picasso. But I do like his quote, so let's hear it. Action is the foundational key to all success. Yes, Pablo. Yes, Pablo. Yes, Pablo. Action is the foundational key to all success. Convinced of this because for most of my life, I've struggled with with one big problem. Karen would say, just one? No, one of the big problems I've struggled with was what my brother used to say, one of my older brothers used to say to me was paralysis by analysis. That I would think so deeply about things from every angle that I would do nothing. Now, I'm going to go deep with you today. I'm going to be a bit vulnerable with you. I was sitting yesterday having some time for prayer and meditation, and I was really struck by something that's held me back most of my life. And I'll tell you what it is in just a sec, but the way to frame it is many years ago I read this book when I was struggling with a lot of anxiety. And the author was arguing that we all have in life a curriculum to learn. He called it a curriculum, that there's something that our life is constantly trying to teach us in multiple different ways. Now you can say it's your life, it's God, it's the universe, whatever, however you want to frame it. But, angry people have to learn how to let go of anger. Lazy people have to learn how to be, not less lazy. All of us tend to have one or two big things that we need to transcend over the course of a life. And it'll come from childhood problems and trauma. And I just want to encourage you, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, go for it. But I just think going down the rabbit hole of why you have the struggles you have, maybe it's helpful. I have some thoughts on that. I just begin to think that even if you do find the answer to why, you still got the problem. Okay? I don't find that unraveling the deepest mystery of why we have a particular behavior really helps us change it. I think just recognizing the problem and then going to work, I think that's more effective, but we'll get into that another day. So what I learned in this curriculum thing and what I learned yesterday was that I struggled with control. Not control of people. I've never been a controlling type of person at all. I'm really not. If anything, I'm just like, hey, you do you, right? Like, I'm just like, I love people. I'm very accepting. And the older I get, I think I'm more and more accepting of just where people are at and what people's journey has brought them to, and all good. So what I'm getting at is I have a strong need for certainty in life, right? You can see my physiology. Like, I've always wanted to be sure that whatever I was doing was the right thing. And often I wouldn't do things until I knew it was the right thing. So this leads to this fear of control, like of you want control and you won't act. To get control, you need certainty, but you can't get certainty, so you can't get control, which drives anxiety. It's a really interesting loop. And yesterday I was sitting in the back of this church because I love going there for the silence, and I'm working through this stuff kind of prayerfully. And I was reading something from a psychologist and who was just describing it beautifully, exactly what I'm talking about, this kind of paralysis by analysis, can't make a decision, not sure what to do on things. And then really the summary was, the answer was, you're never going to know if it's the right thing sometimes. Like, apart from being stupid, like if someone says, hey, you want to drink this battery acid? Like, there's certain things that are like obvious. But a lot of our life is pretty complex, and you could do anything. You could go either way on a lot of things. But her thesis, a lot like what Picasso is saying today, was this, which is just act. Just take the action. Just act. Just take the action. Just do an action. Just take an action. If it's the wrong one, you can change it somewhere down the line, but the worst thing you can do is not to do anything, because then you haven't learned anything through failure and you haven't experienced the possibility of success. You've stayed exactly where you are. So Picasso today is telling us the same thing, that this key to all success is just action. What if it's the wrong action? You'll figure that out really fast. You know, what if there's somebody that you want to go out with, you want to go on a date, you want to get to know somebody better, and you want to start a relationship, and you think about it a lot, and you walk up to them and you're like, so how you doing? And they think you're creepy and they never go out with you. What is that? That's just feedback, right? That's just like, you took an action, it was a terrible action, you just learned to never do that action again. You could have done exactly the same thing, and they could have been really charmed and thought, that's really cute, and you went out on a date. So you could have had success, you could have had failure, but if you had done nothing, you're never going to get either of them, right? So you got to be in the ring, right? You got to get in the ring. You got to get in the metaphorical ring of life to get feedback. So I love this from Picasso. You want to have some success? Then you're going to have to take action. If I want to have more success in my life, I have to let go of this drive for endless certainty and control, and just take risks and be vulnerable to whatever happens, which is hard for me. It's really the way that this has shown up in my life in terms of anxiety and different things, extraordinary. And I'm only getting to the age now, I'm beginning to unravel it, and I want to share it with people. You know, your curriculum might be different to mine, but the way through it is action. It's just action, right? So thank you to Picasso. So if you're stuck on something at the moment, if you're not sure about what to do, here's what I think you should do. Give yourself a little bit of time for reflection. Give yourself some time to think, to walk, to journal. I do recommend that. You know, I said this in a video about 4 or 5 days ago. A lot of the time in life, we just literally are so bombarded with stuff that we don't think much. We don't have time to think about things. So give yourself some time to discern stuff, but then eventually go and take the action. Go and do the thing you think you can't do. Go and do the thing that scares you. Just do it. It's hard, but just once you get it done, at least you're in the game. At least you're moving forward with your life, okay? Tell me what you think. You like what I'm saying? You think it's crazy? You think it's wrong? Put something in the comments. If there's a topic you want me to cover for you, if there's an area of your life where you feel stuck, put it in the comments. Give yourself a weird name here on YouTube, or email me as, Bubba476 or something. Give yourself you can hide your identity. Just give me good problems to solve, all right? And I'll try and put a video together for you if you're stuck somewhere. Please make sure you're subscribed as always. Hit that notification bell, hit the like button, makes a big difference to me. And there's a link here. Grab that free copy of my book, Bridging the Gap. Free for you. All you got to do is hit the link and it's yours. So go do that. My name's Jonathan Doyle. I love doing these for you. I hope they're a blessing, and I'll have another message for you tomorrow.